Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Check it out. It's the Parrot ANAFI. I never got around to doing a country range test. I did a range test on this thing down in the park in kind of a light urban residential area. It didn't do that great in any kind of interference, so I really wanted to test it where there's no possible interference around up on the mountain here. Beautiful day today on Maui, Hawaii. I'm just going to take this thing up and out as far as we can, kind of to the west. There is a little bit, maybe about 5 miles per hour blowing in front of us, coming towards us here. So we'd be going into the wind, which is kind of safe on range tests because you want the wind to your back when you're coming back. I do have the iPad, and I got this special mount for the iPad, some 3D printed little brackets. So anyway, let's get started with the Parrot ANAFI country non-interference range test and just see how far we can push it before we lose signal and it wants to come back. Okay guys, so before we get that started up, I do want to touch base on the case here. So this is the one it comes with. I think they do have a higher end model now that comes with a bag and like 2 batteries. I got it right when it came out, and it just comes with this little bag here and 1 battery. But I went ahead and bought this other bag here to carry kind of everything. Plus you can fit 2 extra batteries and the battery that's on it, controller, some cabling and stuff. And this bag it comes with fits all the way in this bag here. So I'll have this in the description if you guys are interested. Say you bought the first version and you want a bag like this that you can carry everything. Seems to be a pretty good bag. So we'll mount up the iPad on the controller. And the way we do that is with these little 3D printed brackets I got. There are different ones. I saw some different ones you can print, but I went with these. These are kind of a soft plastic compound, and these are slipping over the actual antenna like this. There's some other ones you can get that clamp underneath here and extend over the top. So these just kind of push on like that, and then you can see where the iPad goes in. So now the iPad can just kind of push up on these brackets and then slide right in here. And of course with this thing, it turns on the controller right when you turn on or you lift it open. So I don't like that. There is a little thing you can 3D print also. It's like a little wedge you can stick in there, and you can turn the controller off and on just by putting in or taking out that wedge. So I might do that too, but as you can see, it's on right when I opened it up. So I want to kind of hurry up and turn this drone on. And there we go. So everything looks good. We're going to be recording in 4K 30 frames per second, the maximum this can record at. It looks like GPS is good. We're also going to be testing the return to home precision. Now ANAFI or Parrot has updated recently on the ANAFI since my initial couple of reviews a while back. So this is about, I want to say 6 months after my initial reviews, or even possibly even longer. Just want to make sure we're in regular speed. Right now it's in film speed, so that's going to be super slow. We want to go into sport so we can go a little bit faster out. And I think we're ready to go. So I'm going to start recording in 4K. This is just the SD card that it comes with, so it should be enough for its 4K. And let's go ahead and launch. So the wind is coming up. I'm feeling like 5 gusting 10 coming towards me, so this will be interesting. Let's go ahead and take off before we burn any more power. So pressing this takeoff button. There it goes. So that's as high as this one launches. It's only up 3 feet. Something I wish they would have done was maybe launch it up to about 7 feet, because 3 feet still kind of in the way of people and kids. So anyway, I'll go ahead and just give it the benefit of the doubt and pick it up right above its launch spot. We'll just go up about 40 feet, kind of like I do with all my other drones. And let's sit there for a second. Let's rotate the gimbal down. There's our launch. Hey guys, that's where we're launching from. Look, there's the X8. We're also range testing the FIMI X8 down there. Anyway, I'm faced in this direction, and we are just going to go straight out. Oh yeah, this camera, remember, it pitches way up if you want it to. I want to get it a little lower so that it's not so dark. So enough talking. We're at 94%. Let's go straight out. Full stick forward. And there it goes. This one's got to be the quietest of the bunch. It's so quiet. It's got a little bit of a higher pitch sound, so it doesn't really travel that far, the sound of it. So we're going over the treetops. We're on island of Maui in Hawaii, and just a beautiful day. Slight breeze. It is about 3 o'clock p.m. And we're just going to go straight out this way as far as we can go. I'm trying to remember how far we got in the park test in that residential area. I want to say it was about 1 to 2 miles after I kind of passed the Wi-Fi bubbles of all the houses. It was really bad, and then I kind of got past them, and it did pretty well. So what we want to do is look at our map. You see on the bottom right, we have our compass map. And you always want to make sure that the ANAFI is in that blue radar. So according to this, you see how I'm shifting left and right? According to this compass and map, I should be pointing right at it now. So I want to maintain that throughout the flight. So I'll go back into the video. Guys, this is a great drone for really ease of use. The app is fantastic. It's got waypoint missions, it's got tracking. It really is a fantastic drone. It's just that the new drones coming out, like the FIMI X8, are trying to kind of bump this drones like this and give them competition. So I really love testing these things and seeing how far we can push them to see what's better. So anyway, here we are. Let's tilt the camera down. I will have that 4K footage up as well as this iPad recording for you. I'll be switching back and forth and having one as a small window, one as the large window throughout the flight. So you can see the numbers on the screen. We are just about to hit a mile. Let's tilt this camera all the way down so you can kind of see what this thing can do. If I do click on the screen, I don't get any exposure settings on this guy. So something that they didn't really allow you to do right from the controller is change the exposure. But it does have this zoom, see how I can push the right trigger, and look at that zoom, man. That's so awesome. Maximum zoom just popped up. Whoops. Did it just stop? Oh, let's keep going. It seemed like it stopped for a second. I do believe I have everything maxed out. And if we look at our drone signal, it is about 2 bars, but I am still pointing at it. For some reason, when I zoomed, it did just drop out. So we're at 1.2 miles. I will say with the disco and stuff, this is about the range I would get in stock form. So let's see if this thing can do any better. The antenna, I don't know, it's a little bit weird because it's pointed up. So I'm going to try to play with it a little bit and see if we can get this antenna. Oh, there we go. So connection, it's losing connection right at 1.3 miles. We still traveling? Yeah, we're going 35 feet per second. So it is still going, but you see that exclamation on the top right by the drone and the battery percentage? It's really bad reception right now. Signal. See, that video is starting to get really garbly. At least it's kind of keeping it in check and still allowing you to see the video, just getting a really low quality. Let's tilt this camera all the way up. This is what this one's known for. Look at this. We can tilt the camera all the way up and inspect bridges, look at the sky. Awesome, huh? That's with the camera all the way up, looking at the clouds. Does a 90-degree pitch up. And that's one more thing that's so unique about the ANAFI that nobody else is doing yet. So camera's still quite garbled in my FPV, but you guys will also be seeing the high quality 4K video I'll be recording. So there's some of the other Hawaiian islands out there, Lanai, Kaho'olawe. Looking great. Still going at 36 feet per second. Man, that wind's kind of blasting at me. And we still have 72% battery. Okay, getting a warning, very poor connection. But we're at 2 miles. Heck, man. I just did the range test on this FIMI X8 down there. See it on the ground. And the video cut out at 2.5 miles, and we had control up until 3 miles. The video got really bad at 2.5. So I'm pitching the camera up and down. I'm getting no feedback. So it looks like 2 miles, guys, is going to be your limitation. I'm also seeing no speed anymore on the top left there. I'm pushing again on the stick. Oh, now it's going up. So it went back into connection. Let's just see how far we can get. 24. So as you can see, my video is completely unusable. So what I'll start doing now is tilting the controller down and up and keeping it in that kind of same column, and see if that kind of helps a little bit. So I'm kind of pointing it down a bit. Nope, that didn't work at all. We'll come back up to where we were. See if that helps anything. No, so it completely, so 2.2 miles, it completely lost signal. Right around 2 miles is where the video was pretty unusable in the FPV. So what we'll do is we'll just press return to home now, because we can't really do anything else. I'm gonna hold in return to home. There we go. So hopefully it's coming back and not just sitting out there. Would be nice if we had some kind of indication, wouldn't it? I didn't hear anything beep when I hit return to home. So I think it did disconnect, because there is a light here on the controller that is solid blue when it's connected, but now it's blinking, so it's absolutely not connected. So that will, if anything, trigger the return to home. If you really were worried about something going on where you wanted it to return to home, you could always close and turn off your controller, or shove like that, one of those little 3D printed wedges in there, and shut the controller off. Then for sure it's going to go into fail-safe and come home. But we're still at 66% power, so we'll just give it a minute and see if it does come back in range with what it's doing now. Just trying to return to home before we really panic out and start turning the controller off and stuff. Okay, I just saw a return to home pop up on the screen, so it did get some kind of signal briefly for a second there. And on the map, there we go. Okay, it's popping back in, returning home's popping up. I'll have that up on the screen, guys, so you can see that. Still have no video feed, so that's going to be the weak point. The data feed is good as far as the control, but the video feed is not going to have as strong of a signal. And keep in mind, no interference whatsoever. My phone in my pocket is in airplane mode. This tablet does have data, and that's all I have on, so I can pull in these maps, the base maps. Of course, I could preload them if I wanted to. Parrot has a great preloading system too, so if you're at home and you want to preload an area, you can preload it so you don't have to have any Wi-Fi, any data where you're flying. That's one of the main things I like about this drone too. It's a really easy preload map process. So he's coming home at 32, 33 feet per second. We should be fine because we've got 52% power left. And all the while, guys, we are seeing also how long this thing is going to last in this flight. Click back on the video. Still no video. So a little bit disappointing how the video is not popping back in. You know, even though I'm pointing directly at the drone with my controller, and all I can see is the map and the data. So I have no idea what the camera's doing right now, if it's pointed up or down, because when I lost signal, I was kind of rotating the gimbal up and down. So it may very well be pointing up at the sky or down at the ground. I'm trying to move the gimbal a little bit, but I can't see anything in my FPV. The recording on the drone is still going, so I'll definitely have that up so we can get a nice picture while we're testing this return to home. But at least I can go into the map and just kind of look at it. And boy, under a mile and no video yet? Come on, Parrot. They need a better handshake on their links. The video link should be coming in. I'm holding it just like I was at its maximum range, the controller, but it's still not coming in. So, still always something to work on. Again, no interference out here, so there should be no reason why it can't reconnect. But that's what it's doing, and we're here to test these kind of things. We want to show exactly how this thing will perform. Say you're out on vacation, out in the country, you want to get some video, you want to go as far as you can. This is what you can expect, you know, if you go out there, it flips, turns around and loses signal. This is how we kind of demonstrate what's going to happen. Still have a return to home flashing on the screen, but still fuzzy. Go back into the map. Hopefully that at one point that video pops back in. Jeez, half a mile and it's still not popped back in. 33 feet per second. That's what it's coming back at. So it looks like we're going to be fine with our return to home. It did do what it was supposed to do as far as fail-safe and triggered the return to home when it lost connection. So nothing to worry about there. Just unimpressed with its ability to reconnect video. Yeah, still fuzzy screen, man. And it's only almost 1,000 feet away. So always finding the things they can work on in my videos. Alright, we're approaching the clearing. So we're out of the trees, and there we are. Very soon we should be hearing it. Should be coming back straight from that direction. Yep, I do hear it. Yeah, wow, got right over my head faster than I thought. Still no video, guys. You see this? So kind of disappointing. What's up, Parrot? Can't even reconnect your video, huh? So anyway, it does still say it's recording though. We'll see how close it lands to the H. Boy, I'm having like bad luck here with precision landing on drones. Let's see how far away that is. Go down a little bit lower. So 1, 2, I want to say 3 to 4 feet. Boy, that yaw is super slow. But man, this thing is a really good flyer, and you can hear how quiet it is. It has a little bit of a higher pitch whine, but it's so much quieter than like even the Mavic Pro and the Mavic Pro 2s, the Xiaomi X8 down here, the Fimi X8 SE edition. Still no video though, so not super impressed about that. I'm wondering if I go out of the app. Let me just stop recording. So I'm stopping to record. It looks like we were flying for about 16 minutes. I'm gonna try to go out of the app and then go back in. See if we get video back. Still no video? Let's completely go out of the app. And then relaunch Free Flight 6. Okay, so completely went out free flight. Let's go fly again. All right, so if that happens, go out of the app, guys, because now I got video back. So I kind of want to see how long this battery will last. We're at 28%, and we are in sport mode. So I guess we'll just fly it a little bit more. That's full stick out. This thing is pretty fast. Oh, I'm not recording. I'm going to start recording again in the 4K. There we go. Very stable drone. This thing has really good and stable video. I'm wondering if they implemented a return to home on low battery yet. I don't think Parrot still has any auto return to home when it senses that the battery is only enough to come home. Maybe they did. Let's just check it out. See how far we can get out this way. Try not to fly over any people. 23%. Yeah, see how these guys don't really have any bar anywhere? If I do click on it, it shows me satellites. And this is what you can use for locating if you lose it. And then it shows you like your status of your motors and your camera. So, oh, 1 minute before auto returned home. Okay, so they did implement it. Well, that's good. You know, they may have already implemented it. I'm just not remembering. If I remember correctly, yeah, actually when I did my flight test, sorry guys, when I did my flight test at the park, I now remember it did have a return to home. Okay, there we go. RTH in 2, 1, beep. Okay, so great. So they do have that low battery return to home. There's just no, I think what I'm thinking about is there's no battery bar, kind of like what DJI does, and also the Fimi X8 does that too. They have that same kind of bar where it shows you a bar on the top left of the screen that shows its complete battery power, and then it has a little H along that line that tells you when it thinks it has just enough power to return to home, so it'll auto trigger it. This doesn't have a bar like that, but at least it will automatically come home when it thinks it only has enough battery to reach home. Let's tilt back up in these clouds. One of the main distinguishing features of this Serafi is this ability to just check out the skies 90-degree up on the camera. Pretty darn awesome. So this would be something to get if you're right in that like $500 to $600 price range of getting a drone, and maybe you don't need the most extreme range, because this one doesn't do so good in high interference, like, you know, residential or urban environments. It's pretty short range. It's only like about, gosh, I want to say I'm losing signal like sometimes if I'm flying low and in interference, like 500 feet to 1,000 feet, I like lose signal. So this would be one if you really need that up tilting camera. Stable Flyer, great app, has waypoints, but you don't really need, say, that crazy range that a lot of the other drones have. It is a good option. We're at 10%. Let's have it come on down. Here we are. Hey guys, thanks for watching my videos. Oh yeah, we have the zoom in. Let's zoom in while we're coming down. Whoa, this is a, oh, that too, this is a great, it has great zoomability. Wow, did you see at that time it said precise RTH on there? So I guess maybe that time it saw the landing pad, and maybe because I had the camera like tilted all the way down. Interesting. Anyway, we'll go ahead and land it before it gets too low. This one doesn't automatically land, it just stops and then you have to take over, which can be a benefit. So we'll just land it right here, get it over the center point, and then just pull down on the controller. You have to hold it down for a few seconds and then it will initiate it. And this one too, very similar to the Fimi X8. This one shuts off when it lands. It shuts off the video, it stops the video recording. Anyway guys, that's it for the ANAFI range test. Let me turn this thing off and then we'll kind of talk about a little pros and cons of what that was all incorporated in that range test. The ANAFI is still definitely holds its own as far as the uniqueness of having a camera that can tilt 90 degrees up. It can do 4K 30 frames per second. It cannot do 4K 60. The only one that can actually do that 4K 60 as of now is the Autel Evo. That's also a great drone, and if you need that 4K 60, check out the Autel Evo. I will have the links to this and also that in the description. But so effectively 2 miles, guys. It seemed like that 2 miles, no interference, perfect line of sight, no obstructions. At least in my situation here, you're gonna get about 2 miles, and that's not bad actually. The Parrot Disco, I remember just barely getting 2 miles once in a while if the connection was perfect. So it looks like they're still using that same Wi-Fi technology that they've been using for the bebop and the disco and all that. So that's the main thing I think that Parrot needs to improve, because when you get into, like I was saying, a residential area with some interference, it really lessens the range on these Wi-Fi type of signal drones. And that's why DJI with their OcuSync 1 and 2 is so amazing, because you can be in a residential area and you can fly like 3 miles out or more and still have perfect connection and have no degradation in the video. It's just so amazing. The technology they have is unreal. So these guys are all trying to match that, but like I said, it has a couple of unique features. This one definitely, what it has going for it is it's super portable. And I mean, look how easy it is to just fold this thing up, you know, boom, done, in the case. It's the lightest of all the drones in this price point that I'm testing. It has great flight characteristics. One of the cons though, remember when it was coming back, what the heck happened to the video? It couldn't relink the video. I had to go out of the app completely, come back in the app, and then it came back. So something good to know if you're flying at range and that happens and you're kind of waiting for the video to come back and it feels like it should have come back already, go ahead and exit the app and try to come back in the app, because it's going to be kind of returning home anyway, and you should regain your signal. I just wanted to test it and I waited all the way until I got right here and it still was not connecting. Anyway guys, links as usual for what I'm using here, the ANAFI, Parrot ANAFI, the iPad Air 2, great little tablet, these little brackets, and also my launch pad, and some of the other drones I mentioned in this video will be down in the description down below. So check them out if you're interested in the specs and the pricing. But that was it. We finally did it. Been wanting to do that for a long time, just didn't have the time to do it. But also don't forget, up on the channel is the range test with and without the parabolic dishes for the FIMI X8, the new FIMI X8 SE edition. I'm still trying to figure out how to do some kind of parabolic dish on this. Might be able to maybe 3D print out or make a cardboard, you know, like a little satellite dish here, and then glue some tinfoil in there and maybe get a little more range. So we'll work on trying something on that for the ANAFI. But thanks for tuning in guys, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.